so dumb. So dumb. That's actually kind of cool. Goddamn, this is probably the dumbest idea yet. That had me scared for a moment, but it seems to work. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's get this show on the road. Hey everybody, and welcome back to a new video. For the sole purpose of this video, I am going to be recording most of the video with the GoPro Hero 12, and the audio you are hearing right now is coming from the internal microphone, and right now I am changing it to the DJI Mic 2. Now this is not an in-depth review, this is an overview, a user experience of this camera, how I felt using it for the last 2 weeks. It is pouring rain outside, hope you don't hear it from the audio, but what is a GoPro, an action camera in general, great for? I've said it before, I like doing POVs and weird shots. The POVs, I've done a couple of them with this camera. I was at this international market doing some street photography, and then one on a summery day trying to find some, you know, harsh shadows with the X100V. Now what I really love about action cameras is their small size and how you can do those weird shots. You saw at the beginning, you can put the camera pretty much anywhere if you're just creative enough. And I did a lot of shots doing coffee. That's me. I do a lot of coffee montages. I usually start my videos with some kind of coffee montage or something like that, but not this one. But I got to put the camera in places, different kind of crevices and stuff like that usually you can put a big ass camera in. So it helps out a lot to tell a story, just to show different kind of views and perspectives on the vlog or the video you are making. So right at the bat, this has great image quality. Of course it does. It's the newest GoPro of the bunch so far. The 13 is probably coming next year or something like that, or by the end of the year, because they release these like they release Call of Duty games. So it has great image quality. You can record up to 5.3K. If I remember correctly, was it 30 or 60 FPS? I have to really write these down. And you can do 4K 120 if you want to slow your footage down. I also tried time-lapse yesterday. That was pretty neat. I also did take some photos with this camera. I'm just going to show you 2 photos right here. And that's all you're gonna need, because this is not a photography camera. You can capture moments if you want, but the image quality sucks ass pretty bad, so you don't wanna take photos. It is an action camera for video and, you know, all kind of that stuff, you know, time lapses, slow motion video, etc. Doing those weird shots. Of course, this is made for extreme sports, stuff like that, so this does not have any kind of fans going inside it. So it starts heating up pretty quickly on a summer day when you're doing POV, and usually I put it on my cap with this clip thing, and it starts feeling really warm on my forehead. So it's not that kind of a long use thing if you're doing POV, and usually with the battery life it isn't long anyway, because the battery lasts for about an hour. Now the slow motion, like I said, I did some slow motion that was pretty cool. I like the hyper smooth, I like the stabilization that this camera has. You can actually take really good slow motion footage if you want to, and if you're on the road and you do some extreme sports, or you want to ride a bike or anything like that and put it on you, the hyper smooth, that is the stabilization, is perfect on spot. I love it. I've tested out different kind of action cameras. I've tested out different GoPros, different DJI cameras. I've seen footage of Insta 360 and Insta cameras. And I gotta tell you, like I said, this has the best image quality by far. Usually when I see footage of an Insta camera, I see a lot of POV footage done with an Insta camera. I follow some people doing some city tours, etc. on YouTube. Usually you see this fuzzy, hazy thing happening on the footage, and I don't like that at all. But this, the GoPro, rarely does that unless you're shooting in low light and you start seeing that. But otherwise, it is pretty neat. It is sharp, it's nice. Of course, if you like to have it natural, it feels too sharp sometimes. And if you don't have an ND filter, you're gonna have it really sharp. But it does a great job on doing this kind of, automatic lighting to your footage. Now, as a vlogging camera, this is a great camera. Right now, I'm just holding it in my hand. I don't have any selfie sticks or anything. This is the Hyper Smooth. It actually smoothed out the footage really great. And right now it's on wide view, so that's about 16:35 full frame equivalence. Now, like I said, the auto settings do a great job when you're just changing scenery and lighting and you're going from inside to outside. So it just does a great job. I think it's great. You don't have to adjust anything in post. It just does a great job. Right now it is really dark and rainy outside, so I can't really go outside. What the hell am I talking about? Of course I can. This can handle water up to 10 feet, so it doesn't care about a little bit of a drizzle. This is not a drizzle, this is pouring. I'm getting soaked right now, but this is great. This can handle weather situations, and I'm kind of eager to see what this can do in winter. Now, I've tried different kinds of modes with this camera. I've tried the HDR, and the HDR is like using any HDR. You've probably tried HDR on your phone, and that is awful. That is just awful. Maybe you can find a situation where to use it, but I did not find any kind of situation where to use HDR. Usually when I shoot with this camera, I either use F-Log, not F-Log, I guess it's G-Log because it's GoPro. So I use log profile, And right now I'm filming on log profile. This is what it looks like before color grading, and this is what it looks like after color grading. Then it has its own profiles like natural and vibrant. It also has flat, what I'm not gonna show you because you're not gonna really need flat anymore unless you're the kind of guy who just does only a little bit of tweaking to coloring. But flat was great in the older cameras, in the older GoPros, because they did not have log profile. So you could color grade a little bit at least with the flat profile. But all in all, the GoPro Hero 12 is a great camera. If you buy it now, you can probably find a great deal on it. I did. And when the 13 comes out, of course, it's gonna have maybe something better than 12, but I don't think much better. Maybe 6K, but you don't need that right now. 5.3K is perfectly fine. And with the log profile and everything, maybe they're coming up with a second log profile that has even more dynamic range, don't know. Now the downside of this camera is that it is a GoPro. The lens is a fixed lens, it has a fixed aperture, and yet, even though it has a fixed aperture, you don't get that much separation from the background, which is a bit of a bummer because I like when I'm vlogging to separate myself from the background, and when I want to show maybe more details of my environment, I can pump up the aperture. But this is pretty sharp all the time, so if you're doing POV footage, that is great. Otherwise, well, yeah, it is great for vlogging too, but it's not as great as a normal camera. This is like a quick solution for, if you don't have a camera or you can't take a camera with you and you want to take something smaller. So I can see myself vlogging with this. Now that's pretty much for the video. Hope you liked it. If you have anything to ask about the GoPro Hero 12, ask down below. I'll answer the best way possible. And I'll be definitely using it in the future if you want to know more about it, see more footage done with it. So remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and I'll be seeing you on the next one. More coffee, please.